Now that you've got a variety of fabulous color palettes designed, I'm going to show you one more cool technique: jazzing up your artwork with metallic accents. So as part of the bonus for enrolling in this class, I'm providing 20 high-res metallic textures for you to download and infuse right into your designs. So first things first, remember you can find all of these freebies by going to catcoke.com/seamless. I also put a link to that down below in the class description. Once you're there, you'll be able to download all of the metallic files straight from Dropbox. So for me, once they're downloaded, they show up down here in my downloads folder. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my metallic textures folder. All right, this is where I have all 20 of those metallic textures ready for you. So I put these textures together specifically for today's class, so they're all sized to fit your artboard perfectly. They're all at 40 inches by 40 inches. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of these to use as an example. I think I'll go with the gold glitter. So with that file selected, I'm just gonna click it and drag it straight into my block file. So it looks super massive. Like if I zoom out, the gold just covers everything. And that's because, again, we have that pattern preview turned on. So like I said, this gold file is at exactly 40 inches by 40 inches, which means it fits my artboard perfectly. So I'll press enter to set the transformation. So first things first, I can't see anything. So let's go ahead and turn off the visibility of that gold. We'll come back to it in a second. So I think what I'll do is infuse that gold right into my periwinkle color palette. I don't want the entire thing to be gold. I think with metallic textures, they work better as spot accents where you just see a few of them coming through. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. So for this illustration, I think I'm going to have, let's see, I'll have all of the dots be that same gold, and then I'll have this periwinkle palette coming through. So I'll show you how you can spot infuse metallics just like this. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and toggle down the caret of the periwinkle palette, click my artwork layer to select it, and now I'm gonna use my lasso tool to grab all of these dots. Remember, we only need to grab the dots that are within our canvas, so everything that's contained within this blue square. So remember, my lasso tool is L on the keyboard. You can also come up here to your toolbar and select your lasso of choice. For this, I'm going to stick with the polygonal lasso tool. And now I'll zoom in a little bit, Command++, and I'm going to start just selecting all of the dots within my canvas. So as you can see here, I tried to grab this entire dot like this, but the lasso tool is restricting me only to what's in my canvas. That's totally fine. I just have to remember to go ahead and grab that bottom dot as well, which it's done for me because it knows what I was trying to do. So remember, if you want to get multiple selections with your lasso tool, you want to press and hold Shift on your keyboard and then click. If you don't have Shift selected and you try to grab another element, it removes your other selection. So remember, just hold down Shift on that first click, and then you can let go of Shift and it'll add to the selection anyway. Ooh, I can actually grab 3 in one go with this one. And again, holding down Shift for that first click. Now I can release Shift and finish selecting out this dot. All right, I'm gonna go through and grab all of the dots, again, not for the entire pattern, but just within that canvas. All right, I think I got them all. To go ahead and check, I'll hit Command X to cut them out, and I don't see any left, so that is it. So I'll put them back in by hitting Command Z. And now what I want to do is make sure just the dots are selected. I don't need all of this room around the dots. So what I'm going to do is press V on my keyboard to switch to my Move tool. And now I'm going to use the arrow keys on my keyboard and just tap the right arrow once to move them all in one direction, and then the left arrow once to move them right back where they were. So what that did is now it actually grabbed the dots themselves, not that extra space around the dots. So just a quick little trick there. All right, so now that I have the dots selected, I'm gonna go up to Select, Modify, Expand by 1 pixel, and now Select, Modify, Feather, 1 pixel. And now I'll go over here to my gold texture, turn the eyeball on to show the visibility of that layer again, and my selection is still in place. So I'm gonna go down here to my Add Layer Mask icon and tap it once to throw a mask on there. Perfect. And while we're over here in our Layers panel, I'm just gonna go ahead and grab that gold layer and put it within that periwinkle folder at the top of the layer stack. If I put it underneath that purple tone, the dots become purple, which actually looks pretty cool, but it's not what I want for right now. So I'll put it back at the top of the stack. Awesome. So now if I zoom out, you can see all of these really cool gold embellishments coming through on top of that periwinkle color. And I'll zoom in so we can see the full glory of that texture. Ooh, that's really lovely actually. Yeah, that looks awesome. So the reason that I expanded that selection earlier is because I didn't want the original dot coming through. So when I expanded that selection just by 1 pixel, here I'll zoom in even tighter, what that means is the gold is going to entirely cover that layer underneath. All right, I'll go ahead and turn the visibility of that gold back on, Command 0 to fit to screen, and there you have it. So it's actually pretty easy to infuse these metallics right into your artwork. And something else I want to show you real quick, since we already have that mask in place right over here, we can drop in other metallic textures and see how they might look as the dot accents as well. So I'll show you real quick. If I go back to my metallic textures file, let's try this turquoise glitter instead. So I'll drag that right into my canvas. Again, it is sized perfectly to fit at 40 inches by 40 inches. So I'll press enter. Now, if I command click on my mask itself, not the layer thumbnail, but the mask, so command click, you can see that it's replicated that exact same selection. So now, with my turquoise glitter layer selected, if I come down here and click the icon to add a layer mask, I can see how the turquoise looks too, which that's actually pretty cool. I'll zoom in. Yeah, some nice glitter effects happening here. Command 0 to fit to screen. So this just goes to show that once you have a mask created, you don't have to isolate out those dots every single time. You can just command click on your layer mask to replicate the selection and put it in place for a new one. So that's just a quick hack to work a little bit smarter, not harder. All right, I think I prefer this gold layer underneath, so I'm gonna go ahead and with that turquoise layer selected, just hit delete on my keyboard. And now I'm gonna change the name to Periwinkle Gold to remind me that this is the metallic gold option. All right, I'll click that caret to consolidate it. And now I have a variety of really lovely color palettes over here in my layers, plus the original colorway itself. So as always, you can continue exploring metallic accents on your own. I usually have at least a couple metallic infused color options for every design I create. All right, so that is a wrap for metallics. Let's go ahead and move on to the next video, which is all about saving your files in the most optimized setting possible.